I saw an interesting match tonight, a team in Colorado who needed to win. I think they did everything they could. Thought our response in the first half, and especially after the, excuse me, 25th minute or so was excellent. We had everything under control. Dangerous going forward, creating chances, got a goal. We're unlucky not to get a second. I think that really changes the projection of the game if we do. Was quite happy with the beginning of the second half. We were also dangerous at controlling. And then obviously after our mistake, we were put under a little pressure and we didn't find the solutions to relieve ourselves of that pressure. We were a little sloppy with our passing tonight. Very uncanny in transition to be that sloppy and not as dangerous. I don't think it had much to do with Colorado as much as it was on our end. So certainly good to get a point and to finish the game, obviously, the way we did, but disappointed that we didn't play better, I think, first and foremost. A win wouldn't have helped us either way due to other results, but we're always looking at our performances, especially to end the season. You want to end with a good performance before you enter into the playoffs. But last week with a loss, this week with a tie, both away, not ideal, but certainly not going to knock us down. And we will use this to improve on and hopefully, light a little fire in our bellies because that's what we need. We need to, I think, get refreshed mentally and physically. Usually after international windows, we do struggle. We lose a lot of players. They have long travel, so that's always a factor for us. Saw again tonight. But we should be very well rested for our first home match in the first round of playoffs against Austin in a little over a week, and we'll be ready for it.
All right, we'll open it up to questions. What do you think about today's? I think the game was cold, right? Cold and like high altitude. What do you think about it? If those were effects to the game and then to the play?
I don't think those elements affected. Certainly not the temperature. It wasn't that cold. It's actually probably nicer to play than it is in heat. Um, Altitude certainly has some effect, but I don't think that affects the technical sloppiness that I saw on the night. Very uncanny for us. I think our passing was off. Some bad decisions as well. Um, so to answer your question, I don't think the physical elements tonight had anything to do with our performance.
For number six, holding yours charger of Sony tonight. So what do you think about it? Was it efficient tonight, or what do you think?
No, Sonny had one chance and he took his chance very well. A couple other moments. I think having Denis and Sonny with us for the entire week to prepare for a match is different than having them come in a day before the game. Um, both of them were traveling halfway across the world. It is what it is. We're very happy that they can play for their nations, and it's very important. But it puts teams at the end of the season, in decision day or in the playoffs. We have another national window in a very difficult position. We saw it last year. We've seen it again this year. Um, so it's not ideal, but we accept the challenge. And both of them have, and Matt and Nathan, all have an opportunity now to get some rest, recover, and we can work on being better connected and playing better football together. I think we're a little disconnected tonight, the two up top included.
Sounds like so many his condition is the same as normal, even after two of the national match.
Yeah, he only played a half the second game, so I'm not sure there was a huge issue. There's always a travel issue and time change, but Sonny is a very experienced player, and I'm not sure that affects him. I think time away from the group and time away from your teammates affects you more than maybe the travel and the extra minutes.
So news. Maybe you don't know that about that, right? I can hear there's a new play, like a Messi,
Beckham,
mistake rule.
Beckham, yeah.
So people are saying maybe there's a possibility to go back to what's that? The European League again. So what do you think about that?
People say a lot of things. People say things about the weather, about politics, about my hairstyle. Um, Nothing really bothers me. I don't really listen to it. Thankfully, I'm not too engaged in social media and all of that. Um, to answer your question, I don't know. I can tell you that Sonny is incredibly committed to LAFC, and he wants to win every game he plays with us, and that will be the case for the remainder of this season.
Okay, so last game there was two times FC allowed to uh, when teams play wingers actually the sideline they're allowed to getting into the over the half line. And I'm talking about the midfield game. So what do you think about that?
Are you talking about us defensively or Colorado? Yeah. I think we only got put under pressure after we conceded uh, the tying goal. Then we dropped a little too deep. It looked like there was some fatigue set in. Colorado needed to win, and so they threw a lot of numbers forward. Some natural um, things going on in games when results need to happen, and yeah, and we also didn't have our best night, so it wasn't what we wanted to do. But it's okay to defend deeper, but you need to be good in transition. And we were not good in transition to punish teams who are going to throw a lot of numbers forward. And we had moments, certainly right at the end of the game to win. We had a wonderful moment that I think was a 4-against-1 that we somehow screwed up, and that's very disappointing.
Take a couple on Zoom. We'll start off with Kevin Baxter.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for your time. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, you kind of beginning the second season, and people talked about you just throw everything out and starts again. Austin beat you twice this year. I think you guys are the hottest team in the Western Conference now. Does that really all go out the window, and does it really start fresh? And second question, you've said you're going to leave at the end of the season. That finish line is now in sight. I assume it's a finish line you're trying to push as far away as possible, but is your family here? Did they go back with the school year and everything? Are they back in Germany already? Thank you.
Yeah, I think certainly things start over in the playoffs. It's a new scenario. It's a best of three, go straight to penalties, and so it does change, the way you play a little bit. Absolutely. We've seen Austin twice, lost to him twice. Very similar performances. There's very similar fashion the way we lost each game, and so it should be quite interesting. But I expect more of the same from Austin, and we will try to improve. And we have our solutions ready, for sure. And at BMO twice if needed. We look to close that series out. So, yeah, I don't think current form has a ton to do with it. I think as you saw last season as well, there were some prizes in the first round of playoffs. We'll do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen to us. Yes, I'd love to stay until early December, like December 6th or 7th. That would be ideal. That is what we're all trying to achieve at LAFC.
Go to Josh Gross.
Thanks. Steve, you began the season against Colorado in Colorado, and it's you have a few games left, but the end of the regular season today in Colorado. Just how do you think about this year? Obviously, you've made a lot of important decisions, and the team did a lot of important things and had moments. But how do you reflect back on what this year was like?
Yeah, a lot of ups and downs. I think we've played some very convincing and fantastic football. We wanted to improve last year on our possession and dominance and control of matches with the ball. I think we achieved that. I think down the stretch we played a very effective but also fun to watch style of play with the addition of Sonny and a little bit of formational change as well. So I'm happy. What I'm not happy with is the downs. I think there were too many games where we were just inconsistent, and that's also part of a team's chemistry and DNA. The top teams find a way to stay consistent the entire season, and we were just a couple points shy of finishing first in the West. But by no means am I upset about this year. I think what you try to do at the beginning of the season to the end, you try to improve. And I can see a massive improvement in a lot of players individually, us as a group, and as a collective. And that is the objective. And now trying to reach our very best in the MLS playoffs, that's the next hurdle.
When you brought Nate on, he seemed to give a spark right away, and he connected with Andy Moran, and Andy had that goal. You kind of lost Nate there for a little bit coming out of international play. How important do you see him towards like the fluidity and what you guys can do in terms of your attack, and how ready is he to contribute on a larger basis in the playoffs?
Yeah, he's now physically ready. I think not this last window, the previous window, he came back with a soft tissue injury, which really set him back, got him fit just to go back to the national team again. He got some minutes in, but Nate also lacks a little rhythm. But I think you saw that in the one counterattack at the end of the almost at the end of the match, where certainly Smalley can play that pass better. But Nate can also do better in that moment. And these are the moments that define games. And it's not just about running and effort. It's also about quality in the final third in the opponent's box and in your own box. And, those are areas where Nate also needs to improve. And, we're very happy that he has re-signed with us. And we will make sure that he makes the next steps to become, a player that we can't take off the field. And should be his objective. And that's our objective as well. How much more playing time he's going to get, we'll have to wait and see. Right now, Sonny and Denis are a tough duo to keep off the field, and we'll monitor that situation as we go forward.
And last one for me on Son and Denis. You said their performance, along with most of the other players tonight, was not where you would have wanted it necessarily. Is that for you just a matter of what they did coming off international duty and fatigue, or what was not clicking tonight?
I didn't say it individually. I said as a group. And so I think, when players go away for over 10 days and we have sessions and we have games too, we're moving in one path. Those players go with their national teams. And I have a very great understanding of that due to my own career. You work in a different way with a national team. It's a different type of style. It's a different team, different names, different environments, different cultures, different weather conditions. And to come back to your club and just to expect it to be like it was 2 weeks ago, that's not the case. And that's not that simple. And I think you really saw that. It took a little bit for them to get up and running with the rest of the group. And that has nothing to do with the individuals themselves or the effort or that they want to be here. It's just a matter of not spending enough time together. But now we have that time. And we're looking forward to fine-tuning our attack, our offensive organization, our defensive organization as well, over the next, call it 10 days. We'll find out when we play, I think tomorrow morning.
Thank you.